What's up? I'm feeling real sexy today. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I'm just feeling like, you know, I don't know. I can't even act cocky for real. Like I don't it ain't in me. Like it ain't in me. I'm a confident person, but I'm not cocky, you know? So I don't know how to do it. But man, make sure y'all getting your water. I got my sparkling water right here. Morning coffee, you know, good, killing it. Killing it with the gains. I know y'all see the gains, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking my shirt off more now. I got called my boy yesterday. Me and Josh was talking. We about to go out to Dallas sooner or later. Anyways, we about to go out to Dallas sooner or later, right? He's like, Cam working out, looking good. I'm like, yeah, homie, I'm on it. Anyways, let's get it. Like Kamala gives first interview with Stephen Colbert. That's actually pretty good. All right, let's get it. Let's go.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris, the last Democratic nominee for president, appeared with Stephen Colbert for her first extensive interview since losing the election. It comes after her announcement that she will not run for governor of California. She did leave the door open for something, say, in 2028. I'm hearing like you don't want to be part of the fight anymore.
No, oh, absolutely not. I'm always going to be part of the fight.
Okay.
That is not going to happen. I am absolutely going to be part of the fight.
Yeah.
Is Kamala gonna run in 2028? Might be a good idea. She'll have more time to prepare for the fight. Yeah.
All right, CNN Chief Media Analyst Brian Stelter is here with us now. All right, Brian, you stayed up late, you watched. What came out of this interview?
Yes, and number one, she did address her reasoning not to run for governor in California. In some ways, it reminded me of what we used to hear from Republicans like Donald Trump for many years, that the institutions are broken, the systems are broken, America is breaking down. Here is what Harris said in that same vein to Colbert.
Why is it that when we think we want to improve a system or change it, that we're always on the outside on bended knee or trying to break down the door? Shouldn't we also be inside the system? Recently, I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken.
That's powerful, y'all. All that shit they talk about, everything that she did to black people within the system, she's saying she understands that it's broken and wants to help fix it. That's powerful. That's a powerful thing. I vote for her. I voted for her. I would vote for her again. I would. I think she would have made a hell of a president. I just don't think the country was ready for a woman, let alone a black woman, to get in there and make it. We started on that. But I did want to see it. I wanted to see it. I wanted the first woman to come through to be a black woman. That'd have been live. Yeah. Let's go.
The system is broken, she said, talking about as fragile as the democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our principles, and right now, she said, they're not as strong as they need to be. As you said, John, she left the door wide open for a possible run in 2028. She talked about wanting to travel the country and talk to people without being there transactionally asking for their vote for governor of California. She will be out there promoting a book in the next couple of months. Her book, 107 Days, was announced yesterday. It's already topping Amazon's bestseller charts thanks to pre-orders. So there's definitely some interest in what she has to say about last year's campaign. As for last year's campaign, Colbert set her up to say, "I told you so," saying that her claims about Trump on the campaign trail have turned out to be true this year.
Yeah.
Of course, that was a softball question.
Yeah.
Here's how Harris hit it out of the park.
She was right about everything when it came to Trump. Oh my God, she was right about everything. I know the people who have common fucking sense. Fuck the people who don't want to understand. But the people who have common sense, who are looking at everything that she said on that campaign trail and was like realizing what he's doing right now and how it's shaping the world, how it's making the world look at us in a negative way. I know people are looking at that like, oh my God. Oh my God, like she was 1,000% right. Because everybody was only looking at him for economics. People didn't think that what Biden was putting in place was moving fast enough. It was moving, but it wasn't moving fast enough. The economy was building itself back up. But everything that Trump is doing right now, it's tearing it back down. You need to, oh my God, I just wish people had the attention spans, like, to pay attention long enough to see that it takes time for things to build. So I know they're thinking the same thing with Trump, but watch. We've had 3 generations to see what happened with Reaganomics. It didn't have a positive effect. I'm sorry, not 3 generations. We've had 2 generations to see what happened with Reaganomics. And it's negative. So adding in another like supply side economic principle in 2-3 more generations, $3 trillion added to the deficit. I don't understand how anything could be positive with what they're doing right now. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong.
He would prosecute his political enemies. He would cut Medicaid, Medicare. He would ignore court orders. He would alienate our allies. He would give massive tax cuts to the rich.
You are correct that I did predict a lot of it. But Stephen, what I did not predict was the capitulation.
Interesting comment there from Harris. She went on to say, quote, I think there are a lot of people who think they are riding out the storm, meaning the Trump presidency, as an excuse to be feckless. Harris talking about capitulation, probably referring to universities and big law firms and media companies, although she didn't really elaborate in that answer. In some ways, the medium was the message. Choosing Colbert for her first interview was the message. CBS recently canceled that show due to financial pressures, but lots of Colbert fans think it was also for political reasons.
No, that was fucking genius. That was genius. Not Republicans, Trump specifically, is canceling news networks that disagree with him. That's not how America works. Obama never did that. Bush never did that. Clinton never did that. No president ever said you can't have a network just because you disagree with me. If anything, Obama went on some of these shows and tried to discuss it with Bill O'Reilly, Fox News, and see what they thought about their opinions on the country because he wanted to have that transparency with everybody. That was genius for her to do that. This is not how we operate. It's not how we operate. And Kamala went on plenty of shows, too, that were against her opinions. She did.
Relating to Colbert's outspoken criticism of Trump. So Harris choosing Colbert for the first interview, certainly telling in its own way, John.
Absolutely. A lot about positioning here. And any time a politician doesn't rule something out, it's very much in. Yeah. I will say that. Brian Stelter, nice to see you this morning. Thank you.
I think the obvious question everyone has, I don't know who wants to take this, is she running? We're already starting with the is he or she running type questions. Malik, you jumped. Are you with excitement? Or?
Of course she's running, and Republicans would love to run against Kamala Harris in 2028. Now, I'll say this, and a lot of people are critical of her. There is no reason that she shouldn't run.
Au contraire, President Trump was asked about Harris deciding not to run for California governor. And here's what he had to say about that.
Curious.
Well, she can't speak. She can't talk. She can't do an interview. I thought it was a very strange campaign that we had. But, I had two of them. I wouldn't call her a skilled politician. Would you?
Okay. I mean, but it's the idea that, she lost. The voters weighed in on this already. And we know she's going to have a book coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 107 days.
To push back on Malik's point a bit, it is a difficult 2028 presidential message to come out of the gate and say, I'm a little disillusioned with electoral politics, with bringing about change by working inside the system. I actually thought one of the most poignant moments of that interview is when she talked about how she had to convince her family when she wanted to join the DA's office. She had to convince her family that this was the right way, that the system could work if you work from the inside. And to me, it sounded like she talked about how she didn't watch cable news for months, and that she feels that maybe working outside the system is a way to actually, produce change.
Hold on, one more big question. She was asked about President Biden's decline. We spoke about that earlier. Here is how she responded to that.
It's an instinct of mine to be someone who does not participate in piling on. And I was not going to pile on. And I just wasn't going to do that. And there was a lot of piling on at that time, and I wasn't going to participate in that.
Look, this is her central challenge, distancing herself from Joe Biden in some way. And what's really amazing is she's a historic figure by any metric in the cloth of Shirley Chisholm, a historic first. She's also historic in the way that Dan Quayle was, which is she will forever be associated with a presidency that a lot of the public sees as not popular and is not happy with. And running for president in 2028, she's going to have to toe that line.
That's true. That's a good point. She's going to have to deter that line in some way because people don't think that it was effective, the Biden presidency, because they don't really look into what really happened with the Biden presidency. And then now that Trump's adding all these things into the economy, and all he's going to do is keep blaming the Biden presidency for what he's doing, but they had an effect. It just took a while for it to kick in. That's what it was going to do. It was just going to take more time to kick in. But Anyways, though, y'all. All right, I'm out. Peace.